Hi, my name's Renee Johnston and I'm talking about cognitivism. I'm going to share my personal thoughts on learning and teaching. I'm going to touch on what cognitivism is briefly. I'm going to look at the strengths and limitations of the theory, as well as the components that I will and won't implement in my classroom. Then I'll conclude with a wrap up. As a humanist, I believe that each child has a range of needs. And I looked at Maslow's hierarchy of needs for guidance as cited in Duchesne and McMaw 2016. As a teacher, I make a contribution to these needs, including security, protection, plus belonging. I observe Carl Rogers' approach to learning also, in that children need freedom to fully pursue what interests and drives them, as cited in Duchesne, McMaw, Bochner, and Krauss 2015. Looking at the information processing approach to cognitivism, this views the mind as a computer, which encodes, stores and retrieves information, as cited in Duchesne and McMaw. Knowledge is referred to as schema, which is a mental image or cluster of related ideas used to experience existing knowledge and to make sense of new experiences, as cited in Duchesne and McMaw. The mind as a computer is shown in the multi-store model of information processing and focuses on how information is stored and processed in the three parts of the brain, as cited in Duchesne and McMaw. Looking at the two approaches, cognitivism and humanism aren't naturally aligned, as cognitivism focuses on the brain, whereas humanism focuses on the entire child. Children may struggle cognitively if their basic needs aren't met. Also, purely cognitive learning can be restrictive for those who prefer to learn using different methods. A humanist teacher will identify how a child learns and use a range of theories to teach. A strength of cognitivism is the scientific approach. Jordan, Stack and Carlisle 2008 state that cognitivism presents a scientific approach to learning and offers coherent understanding of the process involved. Scientific research should mean that the experiments and testing have adopted rigorous scientific methods and the results are sound and meaningful for educators. Another strength of the theory is the use of the brain as a computer analogy. Duchesne and McMaw cite it helps to understand the many stages and processes involved in storing and recalling information. The multi-store model draws attention to the different dimensions of memory. This helps educators as they can design learning experiences and optimise the activity, as cited in Jordan, Stack and Carlisle 2008, reducing cognitive load and freeing up working memory. However, this perspective could also be a weakness. Irby, Brown, Lara and Asio 2013 state, unlike a computer, humans use prior knowledge, social and cultural experiences and emotions as they subconsciously select which sensor information to accept or adapt and what to ignore. Therefore, the analogy poses risks to educators as they may be ignoring other needs of the child. Another weakness of cognitivism is that pure focus on the cognitive. Miller states, as cited in Gordon 2008, by dwelling on discrete facts rather than wonders and mysteries, by standardising learning processes and by turning children away from their passions and intuitive insights, cuts the child off from knowing the world in its wholeness. This acknowledges the importance of children to be free and explore to achieve a broader education. As a teacher, I couldn't institute a purely cognitive approach in the classroom, as this doesn't address the whole child. I would look at gaining and maintaining the attention of students, as this is critical to learning. Duchesne and McMaw tell us attention is a vital process in determining which stimuli are processed in working memory and encoded into long-term memory. To aid attention, I would keep learning sessions short, minimise my talk time and open up to class discussion. I'd also look at introducing engaging material. This book, Wrong Colours by Dee Reed, is a fantastic example of what can be done to increase students' attention. It just looks like a simple reader, but when we open it, we see it asks, what colour should it be? It should be yellow. So just the simple fact that the fruit's presented in a different colour is just one way that we can increase students' attention when we're trying to get them to do their readers. As a teacher, I'd be mindful of cognitive load. I would aim to use chunking, which is when we group related pieces of information into a single meaningful unit. This is in just Chesney and McMaw, 2016. In order to help with remembering information. The more students can remember automatically, the more this reduces cognitive load, freeing up working memory. I would introduce aspects of metacognitive strategies such as self-questioning around planning, monitoring and evaluating, as suggested in Chesney and McMaw 2016, as I feel this has real benefits for children's learning. But my concern would be keeping this information interesting and relevant for all students. Whilst there is a time and a place for repetition or drill type practice tasks, I would aim to keep these to a minimum as they do rely solely on the cognitive. Other opportunities for children for learning can be drawing pictures, using their hands to count, or by learning songs. In conclusion, whilst my humanist approaches are at odds with cognitivism, at times there is potential for alignment. Looking at the brain as a computer can help teachers teach information efficiently, but the brain is much more than a computer, and children need to know more than facts and figures. I would seek to incorporate cognitive principles in my class, such as attention promotion, reducing cognitive load, metacognitive strategies, but will avoid drill types of tasks. Thank you for today.